as we've all seen and as I've talked about on this channel for years now, is I do not believe that the current state of the Supreme Court will ever put Americans in a situation where they're taking your guns or allowing anybody to take your guns for that matter. And even as we see states begin to take guns, we're seeing that that's being changed in the lower courts, the lower federal courts specifically, because of last year's Bruin case. Now, what I will say is, what about ammo? I mean, the Supreme Court's not going to let anybody take your guns, but will they let them take your ammo? Now, what I'm talking about is something I brought up a few months ago, is a lot of people around this country are being arrested because when they use their firearm in a self-defense situation, they have self-defense ammo. And what a lot of prosecutors are arguing is that because of the type of ammo that they chose, they knew that this would inflict the most damage and that it could potentially kill somebody. And it's almost like they're saying you're going out with your gun loaded with ammo with the intent to kill. And obviously that's not what you're doing. You're using the best ammo because in a self-defense situation, you need the attacker to stop as quick as possible, and the best self-defense ammo is going to do the best job. But this question still remains, because what we're seeing is people are being jailed for this. And what we're also seeing is these cases are beginning to make their way to the lower federal courts in different districts. Now, what I said a few months ago, and I'm just gonna repeat this, is there's certain ammo out there that's called like zombie killer and that kind of thing. Don't go around with that in your gun, because the exact same manufacturer makes the exact same ammo. It just isn't labeled zombie killer. So it's really important you kind of pay attention to those silly little details like that, unfortunately, until this makes its way to the Supreme Court. Now, I do believe, especially based off of the past 2 Second Amendment cases that the Supreme Court has agreed to take up, that this will eventually make its way to the Supreme Court, because we're seeing people literally in prison for murder when they were just defending themselves or their home or their family or their loved ones. So again, be cautious when you load that gun. Just really, I would focus more on what the box says. You know, if you're buying same ammo that like FBI agents use and that sort of thing, I don't think you're ever going to run any problems. But you start putting things like zombie killer in there and stuff like that, you're going to run into trouble, potentially, depending on what state, city, county, that sort of thing. But again, will the Supreme Court let them take your guns? No, I do not believe that. Will they let them take your ammo? We'll see. This is something that we just got to put a big question mark on. But again, people are being imprisoned for it, and people are finding their ways into these lower federal courts. And I do believe this ammo situation on self-defense ammo will eventually make its way to the Supreme Court. Any thoughts or insight on that? Definitely put that below. I would like to say, if you're not a subscriber to this channel, please take a moment, hit that subscribe button. Greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get this message out. That link is also below. The most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests. Never hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.